My sister was adamant about staying pure before marriage, but she sleeps with her boyfriend every day and never uses birth control. When I asked her about it, I learned she was using the back entrance. I warned her this could easily cause infections. You can keep sleeping with him if you want. Later on, just get a little hymen reconstruction surgery and everything will look perfect again. No one will ever know. My sister took my advice to heart. Later, after breaking up with her boyfriend, our mom set her up with a wealthy heir. On their wedding night, the rich man flew into a rage on the spot for she is not a virgin. The next day, everyone knew about it. Completely humiliated, my sister blamed everything on me. This is all your fault. If things were different, I'd be a wealthy man's wife and no one would dare laugh at me. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day my sister told me she never used birth control. I sneered, then go ahead, keep using that other hole. It took me a long time to calm myself down. Well, aren't you clever? My sister continued sharing her wisdom with me. Grace, you shouldn't always listen to mom. What era are we living in? Living in the moment is what matters most. It's because your thinking is so old-fashioned that you can't keep a boyfriend. I smiled faintly. My sister was so smug because her current boyfriend, Liam, was my ex. We'd been together for 2 years. He broke up with me because I wouldn't sleep with him before marriage. Less than 3 days after our breakup, Liam got together with my sister. When I went to Liam's place to collect my things, I discovered they'd been hooking up all along. My sister went to Liam's apartment every day. The sounds of their activities could be heard through the walls. All the neighbors knew. When I found out, my first reaction wasn't anger, it was the realization that if mom found out, my sister would be finished. Dad died young, and mom raised my sister and me single-handedly. Mom works as a professional matchmaker with access to plenty of high-quality prospects. After dealing with upper-class people for so long, mom knew exactly what they required in a partner. So from childhood, mom's teaching to my sister and me was, dating is fine, but sex before marriage is absolutely not. Mom would always say earnestly, marriage is a fresh start. These men might say they don't care, but deep down they have expectations. You too need to hold your boundaries. On my way back from Liam's place, I kept thinking about how to help my sister come clean to mom, but when I talked to her, she told me she was still pure. When I heard this, it took me several seconds to process what she meant. Thinking about this, I still kindly reminded her, but won't that hurt after repeated use? And it's easy to get infections. My sister blinked and smiled. As long as you take precautions, nothing will happen. This was obviously something Liam had told her to manipulate her. If it happened, it would only mean one thing. She'd gotten an infection there. This realization gave me a dark sense of satisfaction. I pretended to be envious. Is that why Liam prefers you? Meanwhile, I sent messages to Liam's account from an alternate profile. My sister has always loved competing with me for things. Hearing the longing in my voice, she immediately became defensive. Of course, but Grace, you're probably not built for that. You should give up on him. I lowered my head in apparent disappointment. At the same time, Liam sent an inquiry message. I quickly recommended several products. After Liam selected a few and transferred payment, I swiftly placed an order. Once I finished responding, my sister's phone vibrated. She glanced at it and her face turned bright red. Soon she stood up and grabbed her bag to leave. Grace, I have to go out. Remember to keep this secret from mom. I smiled and said okay. My sister didn't come home that night. When she returned the next day, she could barely walk. I didn't expect things to escalate so quickly. One Saturday, my sister pulled me aside and whispered, Grace, I think it tore. Can you check for me? It really hurts.